Alright, so I'm going to be talking about A2 of cuisine now. So we did the A2 test yesterday. It is 8 a.m. today. And so I hope to be doing an A3 test later on because I have the A3 already made. I'm just going to be talking about what I noticed about the A2 test and changes that I'll be making that I have made already for the A3 based on the things that I noticed on A2 here. So in A2 we removed the slowdown effect, and then we also doubled the respawn times, and that actually seemed to make it not terrible. Because the slowdown effect, like, I guess what we've noticed now is that regularly when you have a CTF flag, when you pick up the flag, you can still shoot your weapons. And so now having the pastime ball is enough of a debuff that you don't need to add anything extra, like, um, that you also get slowed down while you have it picked up. It was just too annoying. That combined with not being able to use your weapons at all, it was like immobile, useless civilian class. It was just not fun to be that character. Um, Something I've noticed for A2 when I was playing it, because I don't know if you can see on the scoreboard, but I somehow, when we started the impromptu, I was like the host of the impromptu, and when we were changing to this map, my loading screen, the loading bar just didn't even appear. So I was just stuck there, and I was waiting for like 30 seconds or so, and I was like, okay, maybe sometimes when I play my own map, it takes a little while to load, but it wasn't actually like loading. Oh, look right there, boom. So I don't know if you saw that in the bottom right there, but the blue guy jumped on the point, and there was red guys on the point, but the blue guy still captured because that's just how pastime works. Is you can still capture even if there's red guys there. Oh, okay. I'm a little bit nervous. I guess I have a lot to say, but it's early in the morning. I don't know. Um, so what I noticed was, so I came into the game late when it was 2v2 or 2 points on either side. It's still in like 10 minutes from now. And it's not so much a problem of being able to um, capture instantly as much as it is to capture when someone is defending actively. That seems a little bit unfair. That combined with when I got into the later round when it was playing to three, but each team had 2 points already. I came in at a point where I could like feel this aura, like in a bar, like a stale kind of like drabby feeling. But it was like in this map, I could tell that everyone was getting a little bit tired of repetitively pushing back and forth and back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And it was difficult to, when the ball was in a team area, it was difficult to, like, it would go into the team area, into that last kind of, a third of their area, but it was difficult to tell what the progress was thereafter. Sorry, I just ate, so my stomach is maybe acidic or something. I don't know. Anyway, so what I think should happen in A3 is that I should put a capture point on the actual goal zone, and you have to capture the capture point with the ball in order to score. And then to balance that, we'd give the ball, like right now it's a level 1 dispenser that I've attached to it. I'll just make it a level 2 or level 3 dispenser depending on, how long I want the cap time to go. So currently I've made it a level 2 and it takes 8 seconds to capture the point. For comparison, um, 5 CP lasts are 4.6 seconds, and then seconds on 5 CP are 14 seconds. So it's kind of like in between there. I wasn't sure how long the cap time should be, but I set it to 8 seconds with a level 2 dispenser. Um, what else did I do? Oh, right. So you can notice probably right now, I don't know, maybe I'll just switch to a guy, but you can see on the heads up display that there's a lot of things going on. And I noticed that just watching the demo now, I noticed that a couple people had mentioned that the HUD is really messy. And I've always kind of felt that way about Pastime, that the HUD is pretty messy. I think what is not necessary are the player position indicators. Like, if you're just decently good at the game, you can generally tell where the teams are along this linear path of the map because while obviously we're now at attacking red base and my team is near me, I don't need to know on the heads up display, oh look, my team is actually near me. Like I could just feel that. Like I know that that's right there. Like it almost kind of feels like the pastime developers added that because they couldn't tell, but it wasn't really necessary to know that. I don't know. I think it's actually really cool for the spectator to see that because it's actually just it's cool information. Like I almost wondered if that should happen on 5CP competitive, like when you're streaming or casting it, they should put this player indicator thing there so that it's easier to tell how well the teams are doing from a spectator position because it's really difficult to tell that sometimes. Like how well teams are doing in 5CP, like competitively. But I think in here, as a player, it's messy and it's distracting. So what I might ask, because we're going into A3 now, I might ask when we're at like A4 or A5, if the map is at all fun by then. Like hopefully it is, but if it is actually like decently good, then I might ask the pastime developers to put in an option because they seem open to like change if there's like potential there. So I would imagine by A5 or so we'd have like some sort of potential. Maybe they've even played it by then. That they might be willing to make an option so we can hide the player indicators on the heads-up display. I like that the goal, like the ball, compared to the goals, like on the bottom right and bottom left over there, you can see where the ball is like in comparison to where the goals are. That's really good. I like that. It's like payload. You can just tell where the payload is, but you don't need to know where all the players are, I don't think. Like I think you could just naturally, you can even like hear the battles going on over there. I don't see any teammates around me. They're probably all fighting over there. I check my HUD and they're still alive, so I'd assume that they're all fighting in that battle that I could hear on the other side of the map, Let me go to A3 and show what's going on in A3. So yeah, I've just added the capture points. I made it so that there's a level 2 dispenser instead, so that balances the capture point times, I think. I'm not sure if it actually does, because you saw in that playtest that it was taking a while for teams to actually score at all. But I think that might be part of not knowing how well your team is doing on the push at any given time. Because generally the ball is in their zone, but it's difficult to tell, like, okay, well, it's in their zone. Well, how well is it in their zone? Or how well are we doing with the ball in their zone? It's not very clear. Even though that there are the player position indicators, I think that the player position indicators are just messy and almost like, I don't really know the definition of benign, but benign comes to mind in this context, so I think that would. Anyway, at the setup time, the HUD fixes itself, but you can see I put the capture point icons there, and so normally they're locked, and so that would kind of, I think, help that you go to the capture point and it's locked, and you're like, okay, it's locked, I guess. You have to take the ball all the way over to the capture zone, and then you can actually start capping it. So it is a level 2 dispenser, so I'll hurt myself. And you can see, look, like that's pretty fast. Like, I think, because it's double, I'm not sure if it's actually double, but I think it's double than a regular dispenser. So I think that would be enough to counter the 8-second cap time. But I could make it a level 3 in like A4 or something if I need to. It's really just a test to see how long this would be. Oh, I also made it so I did make it initially that when you captured, oh, look at that. It actually sets the teams of the points wrong. So now it's red in blue base and blue in red base. Okay, well, I messed that up. Okay, I'll fix that before we ship A3. I guess it was good I made this video then. Yeah, so I guess, because you can still capture the enemy zone, can't you? No, huh. Wow, okay, well, it's broken for blue team. Yeah, I guess or it's broken for red team, I mean, because I've played it as blue team and that worked. So I guess it's only broken for red team attacking blue right now. Okay, that's good to know before I ship. What was I talking about? I don't even remember what I was talking about, but I mean, that should be better. It should be balanced, should be okay, and then we'll just do a test to see how balanced and okay it is. Oh, and one more change quick is that I've made the bottom brush here, instead of 50% reflectivity, it's now 30% reflectivity. That sounds like a small change, but from blue perspective, it got really difficult to tell where that circle was for indicating where the pastime ball was, because it was just like, it was also white and it was just difficult to tell through here. So now that it's more gray, you can see in just a second when it respawns, it's a little bit easier to tell that it's there. I don't know if it was quite necessary, but it's a simple as heck change. Like, it literally took 3 seconds to alter that, so I'll just keep that in mind when I'm detailing that I see the 30% dev textures. I'll go, okay, make sure that that is like a darker sort of texture, which it'll naturally be if it has any sort of texture that's not reflectivity 50% anyway, but just to keep in mind, I guess. Okay, so I'll go fix that bug with the capture points when red is attacking blue, and then I'll update it, and then we'll go play A3 later today, see how balanced the capture points are, and then if they aren't balanced, we can make the level dispenser level on the pastime ball like a level 3, or even just alter the cap times on the point itself. And then it would be cool to talk to the pastime developers later to see if we can remove the player indicators on the heads-up display, because I think it's just clutter. It's like not really that you need to know that, because you could just naturally sort of tell it if you've played the game for more than 10 hours. But yeah, okay, so that wraps up A2 going into A3, and I'll make another video from A3 going into A4 some other time, I guess. So thanks for watching. See you guys.